The contact is simply the core of the PLC programming. Yes, the contact has only two positions. It is either close or open, similar to a classical door. The door can only be open or close as a contact. The question that came to our mind, how the contact shift from open to close. Normally a classical door would shift from open to close by a mechanical effect. Happily, the most common contact used in the industry is the push button, which shift from open to close by a mechanical effect as well. As another example, the following switch is very common in our homes and schools. In this example we have learned the mechanical effect, but in the industry there are many other effects. Let's see some examples. The capacitive effect. Those switches will shift their contact in case you put anything near their heads, so they would detect paper, wood, metal. For this we call them capacitive senses. The inductive effect. Those switches will only shift their contact in case you put any metallic item near their heads, so they would detect, for example, metals, screws. For this we call them inductive senses. The magnetic effect. Those switches will only shift their contact in case you put magnet near their heads, so they would detect only magnets. For this we call them magnetic senses. As summary, the first item that we have learned is the contact, which has only two standings, either close or open. On the industry we can use many different senses. Now let's understand more about 0 and 1 on the digital electronic. We have seen that any contact has only two flags, close or open, so open is 0 and close is 1. On the technical world, the 1 and the 0 are only two different voltages, so 1 is for example plus 5 volts and 0 is 0 volts. Easily we can understand that if you provide plus 5 volts to a digital system, as Arduino for example, it will consider it as 1, and if you provide 0 volts it will of course consider it as 0. As conclusion, 0 and 1 are two different standing of 1 bit, that is technically either 0 volts or plus 5 volts. Let's see now a schematic of a standard digital system as a PLC. The PLC has three different types of inputs and two different types of outputs. Digital inputs. This is what we was explaining. You can connect a switch or sensor which will provide the voltage to the input module. A digital output is the same as digital input. The only difference is the CPU, which will provide this voltage to an output device. With digital output you can energize a relay, a LED, or small buzzer. Very good. Congratulations for your understanding.